Bitcoin is back in the spotlight, and if you're an investor or just curious about cryptocurrency, now is the perfect time to understand why Bitcoin could be one of the most important assets to consider today. In this video, we'll break down the top reasons to buy Bitcoin now, including its scarcity, institutional adoption, inflation protection, global accessibility, technological growth, and how it can diversify your portfolio. Bitcoin's currently trading at 95,000, so it has a 30% upside over the next several months. This is kind of what happened back in April. Bitcoin had a dip, so did the rest of the market, and it roared back nicely. So anytime we see Bitcoin have a pullback like this, excellent opportunity to buy. It's a great long-term investment, and we're going to go over a few reasons why. The first reason is, one of the biggest reasons to consider buying Bitcoin now is its limited supply. Unlike traditional fiat currencies like the US dollar or the euro, which governments can print endlessly, Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million coins. The scarcity is the key part of its value proposition. Think about it this way. When demand grows but supply is fixed, the price typically rises. Historically, Bitcoin has followed this pattern, especially during periods of increased adoption. For example, in previous bull markets, Bitcoin saw massive price gains as adoption accelerated, because Bitcoin is often referred to as digital gold because of the scarcity and the value storage properties of gold, but in a digital borderless form. Another compelling reason to buy Bitcoin now is institutional adoption. Over the past few years, we've seen big financial institutions, hedge funds, and even major corporations start to allocate part of their portfolios to Bitcoin. This is real money moving into the market, bringing credibility, liquidity, and stability. ETFs and other regulated Bitcoin products are making it easier for institutions to invest, which means more large-scale capital is entering the ecosystem. When institutions invest in Bitcoin, it's a strong signal that Bitcoin is moving beyond a speculative asset and becoming recognized as a legitimate financial instrument. Historically, when large institutions allocate even a small percentage of their portfolio to Bitcoin, it can create significant upward momentum. For investors following the money, these large-scale players can provide a valuable guidepost. Global inflation has been rising steadily in recent years, and central banks are printing money to stimulate economies. While this may temporarily boost markets, it erodes the purchasing power of traditional currencies. Bitcoin offers a digital hedge against inflation. Unlike fiat currencies, which can be devalued by printing more money, Bitcoin has a fixed supply that cannot be manipulated. Its scarcity and decentralized nature makes it an attractive alternative for investors looking to protect their wealth over the long term. Bitcoin is a borderless and decentralized, so you can buy, sell, and transfer it anywhere in the world without relying on banks, governments, or traditional financial intermediaries. This means it's a truly global asset that's accessible to anyone with an internet connection. This accessibility is critical because it empowers investors in countries with unstable banking systems or restrictive capital controls. They can participate in global financial networks that's independent of their local currency fluctuations. Even for investors in stable countries, Bitcoin offers an opportunity to hold an asset that's fully under their control. No bank can freeze it, no government can print more, and no institution can manipulate its supply. Bitcoin isn't just a currency, it's a technological ecosystem. The Bitcoin network continues to grow from the development of the Lightning Network to improve security and scalability solutions. As adoption expands, Bitcoin becomes more functional, faster, and more secure. This technological growth supports increased utility, which in turn drives demand. Think of it like this: more people and institutions using Bitcoin means more real-world adoption. Every new wallet, every new exchange listing, and every new infrastructure development strengthens Bitcoin's network effect. By investing in Bitcoin now, you're positioning yourself in a technology-driven financial ecosystem that continues to expand and evolve. Bitcoin also provides portfolio diversification. Traditional investments like stocks, bonds, or real estate often move together, meaning that during market downturns, your portfolio can be heavily impacted. Bitcoin historically has shown low correlation with traditional assets, but overall, when we need to take a quick look at this, as Bitcoin gets hit probably slightly harder than stocks, bonds, and real estate when the economy tanks. And that's probably the one downside. The upside is the overall potential over the next 5 or 10 years for consistent growth. So you've got to weigh the risk and reward here. There's tons of volatility, and short term, there should be wild swings still yet to be seen over the next few months. But that overall is a sign that Bitcoin is going to continue to climb higher because of the popularity. So really, if the markets are going to suffer, so is Bitcoin. That's a proven fact. Many investors hesitate because they fear buying too early or too late. The reality is that timing the market perfectly is nearly impossible. What matters most is recognizing structural opportunities. Right now, Bitcoin has had a good run this year, reaching all-time highs. And now that it's seen a pullback, we can see an easy 30% gain here. Josh Delozer Investments has a position to continue to dollar cost average into Bitcoin over the long term, and should continue to see steady increases through 2026 and through 2027. And really, my personal rule is if Bitcoin happens to fall below 100,000, buy as much as possible. A few reasons to consider buying Bitcoin now: the limited supply, institutional adoption, the global accessibility, technological growth, and portfolio diversifications are all great reasons to buy Bitcoin. Investing in Bitcoin is a great long-term strategy and should be considered part of anyone's overall long-term strategy to build wealth. I personally have Bitcoin right there on the same grade as Nvidia and Tesla. And you look at a lot of these other companies like GameStop that has also continued to buy into Bitcoin. MicroStrategy Incorporated is another company that just continues to heavily buy into Bitcoin because they understand the true value of Bitcoin over the long term. So if you're not invested in Bitcoin, definitely take a look at the Bitcoin charts and how Bitcoin's climbed over the last 10 years. So I have a strong buy on Bitcoin. I appreciate everyone watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask any questions you might have, and I'll be more than happy to answer. Appreciate everyone watching this video. I will see you all back here next week.